I'm Mike Hoelter, and I've been on Young Life Committee for about 10 years now. But my Young Life story starts a lot earlier than that. I was involved in Young Life back in high school. I did grow up in the church, but my experience in high school through Young Life really changed what it meant to have a relationship with the Lord. And on top of that, it gave me a safe and fun environment during a pretty impressionable time in anybody's life, really. Also met a lot of my best friends through Young Life, met my wife through Young Life, and obviously had a pretty big impact on me. So fast forward about 10 years after high school, the area director said that they had a need for some committee members in the area. Didn't really know what that meant, but life was busy, still is, obviously, and had gotten married, working on a career. I think we had a child at that point, and we were nervous about committing. So we heard about some needs in the area. Some of the high schools were struggling, and one of those was Perrysburg, which is where we grew up, and that was concerning since that had such a big impact in our lives. And what really did it for us was thinking maybe our kids wouldn't have Young Life in their school, and we thought maybe we could play a small part in that. So as a result, my wife and I committed to join the committee, and that was about 10 years ago now. If I were to describe what Young Life has been for us in a word, I'd say it's been hard. People change. A lot of college kids are graduating. High school kids move on. Committee members move on. Community involvement changes. It's a lot of time. A lot of meals cooked. A lot of talk and efforts around finances. Trying to raise enough money to keep it going to support Dan and the team, and just making sure they have what they need to reach the most kids possible. Always feeling like we're behind on that front. And then finally feeling vulnerable, whether it's doing a video like this, whether it's playing guitar in front of high school kids and learning Taylor Swift and Justin Bieber and who knows what other types of songs. It can be uncomfortable. But then you see changed lives. You hear the stories of the kids that were broken, were lonely and struggling in high school, and how they found hope through the Lord, through Young Life. You watch the staff, you watch the college volunteers give even more time and more of their resources to the ministry, and watch all the impact that they're having. And you see the potential of this group, and then you start thinking about your own kids getting closer to that junior high school age, and maybe they can have a piece of that. And that's when you realize it is worth it. All those hard times, those hard conversations, time spent, money spent, and it was worth it, even if we played just a small part in the overall picture. So Young Life, got to meet a lot of great people. I still meet a lot of great people through that. It gives me a chance to brag about what's going on in our schools, but I also get to use it as a way to tell people about how God's still working in my life. And how, I am playing a role for Him through helping with an organization like this. So Young Life has been hard for me, but it's been a vehicle God's used for over 20 years to grow in my own faith and play a part in a lot of other folks over the last couple of decades. And that's why I'm involved, and that's what Young Life means to me.